Welcome to a pivotal moment in your life. If you find yourself here, it is likely because you are wary. Weary of losing control, of the sharp words that wound those you cherish, of the profound regret that follows the storm of anger. You are tired of the endless apologies, the hollow explanations of "I didn't mean it, it just happened." The stark truth is, apologies often arrive too late. The damage is already done, words have cut deep, silence has eroded trust, and your angry face has instilled fear in those who once looked up to you. Anger builds walls where love should reside. Have you ever shattered something in a fit of rage? Uttered words you can never reclaim? Witnessed yourself transform into a stranger, a version you yourself feared? If these resonate, then this message is for you. This journey is not just about mastering anger, it is also about profound personal growth. We will explore these truths slowly, clearly, and with deep emotion. Each word carefully chosen to guide you toward control and clarity. A calm mind learns faster, a peaceful brain absorbs better, and a future of emotional fluency demands a controlled mind. This is not merely a self-help guide. It is an emotional metamorphosis, a battle for the person you are meant to be. Listen with an open heart, and you will emerge more powerful, more peaceful, and more in control than ever before. What is anger? It is more than an emotion, it is a fire. This fire can nourish or destroy. It is one of the most potent, misunderstood, and dangerous forces within the human experience. Anger is a signal, a raw message that something is wrong. I feel threatened. I feel disrespected. I feel out of control. I feel hurt. Yet, instead of speaking these truths clearly, anger manifests as shouting, slamming doors, silent treatment, explosive words, or even violence and self-destruction. Anger is like wielding a sharp sword. Used wisely, it protects. Used carelessly, it harms everyone, especially yourself. Many do not realize this. You are not truly angry. You are in pain. You are afraid. You feel unheard, unseen, misunderstood. Anger becomes your desperate language, but it is a language no one wants to hear. Therefore, we must not suppress anger, but understand it, transform it, and ultimately control it. Weigh one pause before you react. When a trigger strikes, an insult, a blame, a deeply cutting remark, resist the immediate urge to respond. Pause. Even a mere 3 seconds of silence can alter everything. Anger is an energy that surges quickly but also dissipates rapidly. Reacting instantly is not power. Pausing is power. Imagine carrying a hot cup of tea. Someone bumps into you, it spills, and you feel the burn. Instead of screaming, you take a second, close your eyes, and calmly state, "I know this was an accident. I don't want to make it worse." That is the power of a pause. That single second of awareness can protect a relationship, your dignity, and your inner peace. Countless jobs, marriages, friendships, and respect are lost, not because people are inherently bad, but because they fail to pause. They allow the fire to rage uncontrolled. As Viktor Frankl observed, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and freedom. That small space, that 3-second pause, is where you win the war within. Next time anger rises, do not speak. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, count 1, 2, 3. Then ask yourself, what is the best way to respond without losing myself? This tiny pause will feel alien at first, but with practice, it becomes your superpower. Way 2. Name the real emotion behind the anger. What if I told you that you are not actually angry, but merely think you are? Anger is rarely the root. It is a mask, a disguise, a loud voice hiding quiet pain. It is a shield your mind deploys to protect you from deeper truths. You are not angry. You are hurt, embarrassed, ashamed, rejected, disrespected, forgotten, or scared. Instead of articulating, I feel sad, I feel ignored, I feel unimportant, you declare, I'm angry, because anger feels strong, powerful, and it protects your ego. But this strength is a lie. Your brain, like a vigilant security guard, sounds an alarm. Anger when it senses emotional or physical pain or danger. The problem is your brain doesn't always identify the true source of pain, offering a shortcut. You're angry. Yet, beneath that anger lies a real emotion that desperately needs to be named. Unnamed, it will control you. Consider your best friend canceling plans last minute. You've anticipated this all week, cleared your schedule, felt excited. Their text, hey, sorry, can't make it. Something came up. Instantly, you feel angry. But are you truly angry? Let's name it, you feel unimportant because they disregarded your time. Disrespected by the abruptness. Alone because you crave connection, powerless because you lost control. Now, stop and declare, I'm not angry. I feel disappointed. I feel let down. I feel like I wasn't a priority. Do you feel the shift? Your brain calms, the fire cools. You are no longer fighting, you are healing. This is the power of naming the emotion. Your vocabulary shapes your reality. If your only words are angry, mad, furious, every emotion is squeezed into the same bottle. Expand your language, expand your control. Instead of I'm angry at my partner, say I feel ignored. I feel unappreciated. I feel unsafe. I feel confused. This teaches your brain honesty, the first step to emotional mastery. Next time anger builds, ask, what exactly triggered me? What emotion am I feeling beneath this anger? Can I say it clearly, even just to myself, not to blame, but to understand? Say aloud, I'm not angry. I feel. This sentence is your medicine. Naming emotions activates your prefrontal cortex, the logical brain, enabling clear thinking and better responses, while reducing the amygdala's power, the emotional brain that drives shouting or lashing out. This is emotional engineering, mind rewiring, life transformation. Imagine the pain avoided, the fights prevented, the relationships saved, the tears spared simply by pausing, breathing, and saying, I'm not angry. I'm hurting. I'm scared you'll leave. I'm afraid I'm not enough. I just wanted to feel important. This one habit can revolutionize how you love, lead, and live. Anger is a smoke alarm. Ignore the smoke, and the fire grows. Naming the emotion is finding the fire early, before it consumes everything you hold dear. Way 3, breathe like a master. Control your breath, control your life. When anger strikes, your body undergoes a drastic transformation. Heart racing, muscles tightening, voice rising, hands shaking, face flushing, mind clouding, breath becoming fast and shallow, like an animal preparing for war. It is not just emotion, it is biology. The secret to controlling anger lies in controlling the one thing that governs all these reactions: your breath. Your body is a car. Anger is the accelerator pushing everything too fast. Your breath is the brake, the master control switch to slow down your heart, mind, blood pressure, and hormones. Your breath is the only system in your body that is both automatic and controllable. When you consciously control it, you reclaim command over your mind, body, and anger. Most people, when angry or anxious, breathe shallowly from their chest, signaling danger to the brain. Prepare to attack. Protect, fight, run. This is how shouting, violence, and the destruction of relationships and lives begin, simply from not knowing how to breathe. Many scoff at the advice, just take a deep breath, but science proves its power. Deep, especially belly breathing, activates your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system that signals safety and calm. This activation lowers blood pressure, slows heart rate, relaxes muscles, clears the mind, softens emotions, and dissipates anger. Consider the soldier who returned from war prone to explosive rage at any raised voice. During therapy, he learned one simple technique before reacting: breathe deep. He practiced box breathing. Inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4, repeated 4 times. In just 2 weeks, he reported, "My wife says I finally smile again. I didn't scream when the toaster broke. My daughter hugged me without fear, all because of breath." This diaphragmatic breathing is a powerful tool against anger, stress, and anxiety. Each deep, slow breath releases GABA, a chemical that reduces fear and aggression and lowers cortisol, the stress hormone. You become less reactive, more focused, more gentle, more patient, more in control. No therapist, guru, book, or money is needed. Just you and your breath. Imagine someone who doesn't use this. Their breath quickens, they yell, regret their words, slam doors, walk out. Later, consumed by guilt, they whisper, "Why did I do that again? Why can't I control myself?" Guilt does not heal, it builds walls of shame. Every fight, every mistake, every regret could have been prevented with just 4 slow breaths. You cannot control what others say or the situation or your past trauma, but you can control your breath. And that one thing changes everything. If you seek to change your future, save your relationships, master your emotions, and break the cycle of regret, start with one thing: breathe like a master. Practice daily, not just during the storm. Make it your identity. Control your breath, and you control your destiny. Way 4, leave the battlefield. When your peace is threatened, walking away is not weakness. It is wisdom. In every argument, every fight, every rising wave of anger, there is a moment when your body screams, "Say something. Defend yourself. Prove them wrong. Shout louder." You can't let this happen again. It feels like war, and an inner voice urges, "Don't walk away. You'll look weak." Don't be silent. They'll win. Don't leave. Stand your ground. But the truth is, the strongest individuals know when to abandon the battlefield. Sometimes the battle is not worth the blood. Sometimes staying in the heat only creates damage, not growth. Leaving is not escaping or surrendering. It is choosing self-respect over self-destruction. The world often dictates that real men never back down, Strong people fight back. Silence is weakness. Leaving is cowardice. But true strength lies not in screaming, but in recognizing what you will lose if you stay. You might win the argument, but lose your child's trust. You might prove your point, but shatter your partner's heart. You might silence your enemy, but inflict a wound on yourself that takes years to heal. So, what is the cost of remaining on this battlefield? If the cost is your peace, your family, your future, then walk away. When angry, your body becomes a weapon, voice sharp, hands clenched, eyes hard, posture stiff. Logic vanishes, your brain floods with chemicals, thinking shuts down. You are ready for war, not wisdom. The only cure in that moment is space. Physical distance. Not forever, not as an escape, but as a reset. Leave the room, step outside, close the door. Take a walk, drink cold water, wash your face, touch a tree, sit in silence. Allow the storm to pass. In anger, everything you say is louder than your heart intends. Everything you do is stronger than your soul means. And once done, it cannot be undone. Protect what matters most by walking away. There was a father with a terrible temper. One night, his teenage son crashed the car. The father, furious, wanted to shout, break things, punish him. Instead, he saw his son's scared, shaking, ashamed face. The father said nothing. He turned, walked into his room, locked the door, and cried. 30 minutes later, he emerged calm, embraced his son, and said, "The car can be fixed." But if I had said what I felt earlier, I might have broken something inside you I could never fix. That is what walking away saves your child, your relationship, your identity, yourself. When you leave a high conflict space, 3 powerful things occur. Your environment shifts, removing triggers. Your stress hormones drop within 15 to 30 minutes, and your thinking brain, the prefrontal cortex, reactivates, clearing the emotional fog. When logic returns, regret disappears. You avoid apologizing for actions you never took and prevent damage instead of undoing it. This is true maturity. Some will mock, "Why are you leaving?" Can't handle the truth. Avoiding the fight. Let them. It is not about proving strength. It is about protecting your future. Weak people fight every battle. Strong people choose their battlefield. Wise people know peace is more powerful than pride. If physical departure is impossible, at work, in a meeting, on a call, at dinner, create mental distance. Count backward from 50. Stare at a single point. Focus on your heartbeat. Imagine watching yourself from above. Mentally whisper, "This too shall pass." Train your brain to detach without fleeing. Even in chaos, you can find calm. A future version of you, calm and wise, regrets nothing, protects what matters, builds a peaceful home, a strong mind, and a respected heart. Get that version watches you now, asking, will you be strong enough to leave the battlefield? Will you save me from mistakes I cannot undo? To protect your future, sometimes the bravest act is to step back and leave the battlefield. Not forever, just long enough to return as the person you are proud to be. Way 5. Don't speak while you're angry. The words uttered in 5 seconds of rage can take 5 years to mend. We all carry a moment, a memory that haunts us, often beginning with "I didn't mean it. I was just angry." But here is the brutal truth: anger does not excuse your words. The damage is done, And the woong from your mouth can become a lifelong scar in another's mind. So heed this most powerful truth. If you are angry, do not speak. Not a single word. Silence during rage is a superpower. When you speak in anger, you do not speak from your soul, but from your wound, not from your truth, but from your trauma. You speak not to heal, but to hurt. And no matter how right you believe you are, no matter how desperately you want to win, once spoken, words cannot be erased. In anger, your brain malfunctions. Your limbic system, the emotional brain, takes full control, shutting down your prefrontal cortex, your logical brain. You cease rational thought, ignore consequences, forget the other person's love, disregard your future self. You only think, say it, let it out. They deserve it. But your future self will lament, why did I say that? What have I done? I didn't mean it. By then it's too late. The damage is real, the pain alive, and guilt becomes a prison. Therefore, do not speak while angry. A young woman in a relationship was forgotten on their anniversary. Feeling ignored, forgotten, hurt, she screamed, "You never cared about me! You're just like everyone else! I regret meeting you! You're a loser!" Later that night, she discovered he was at the hospital, holding his younger brother's hand after a car accident. He wasn't ignoring her, he was facing a crisis. She broke down in shame. Their relationship never recovered. He forgave her, but he could never forget those words. One moment of rage, one mouth filled with fire, destroyed something beautiful. Words are weapons, and once released, they cannot be retrieved. The world encourages say, what's on your mind? Don't hold back. Speak your truth. But not every moment is the right moment. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can say is nothing. Silence amidst fire demonstrates emotional mastery. It means protecting your future, thinking beyond the immediate moment, prioritizing the relationship over the argument, choosing peace over ego. You are here to build, not destroy. This is not about suppressing your voice, but delaying it until it is strong enough to heal, not hurt. When the urge to explode arises, try this, bite your tongue, literally. This physical act creates a pause. Lower your volume, even if your heart is loud, whisper to yourself, not now. Use a placeholder. I'm too emotional to talk right now. I'll speak when I'm calm, or write it down. Open your notes app or a notebook. Pour out everything you want to say, knowing no one will read it. Later, reviewing it with a calm mind, you will often delete 90% of it. That 90% would have ruined lives. You save your marriage, your friendship, your reputation, your child's innocence, your self-respect. You walk away as someone who prevented temporary rage from causing permanent destruction. You become trustworthy, known for speaking truth, not fire. Recall a time someone's angry words scarred you, even after apologies. That is the impact of angry speech. It strikes the soul. Before your own words fly out in rage, ask, am I about to become someone else's lifelong scar? If yes, do not speak. Wait, breathe, walk away. Write it down. Do anything but speak from the fire. Speak after the fire has burned out. When your words are water, your heart steady, your soul ready to build, not burn. Someone in your life loves you deeply. Angry words can change how they see you forever. One day, they might walk away not because love died, but because they tired of defending themselves from you. You will look back and wish you had stayed silent. Do not wait for that regret. Let your silence protect what your voice might destroy. Silence is not weakness. It is maturity, power, protection, and it saves lives. Way 6. Turn your anger into a journal. When your mouth is dangerous, let your pen speak. Most people desire to release anger. To scream, punch, shout, express pain. Anger living within feels like pressure, a balloon about to burst. The mistake is releasing it destructively toward people, loved ones, co-workers, or even oneself. They regret words, hurt people, break objects and trust, left only with guilt, silence, and shame. But you can release anger without destroying anything or anyone. How? By turning your anger into a journal. Your mind in anger is a chaotic highway of thoughts, feelings, triggers, memories, fears, pain, all colliding. Anger is a car at full speed, ready to crash. Writing is like opening a safe, secret side road. You take all that mental chaos and pour it onto paper, line by line, word by word, until your mind quiets and your heart lightens. A man once unfairly lost his job, blamed for something he didn't do. No warning, just termination. He wanted to fight, call his boss, break things, shout. Instead, he picked up a pen and wrote, "I am so angry right now, I could scream. I feel humiliated. I feel betrayed. I worked 6 years here. I gave everything. I don't deserve this, but I will not destroy myself. I will rise." He wrote for 40 minutes, cried, slammed the notebook shut. But he did not scream, fight, or break anything. Most importantly, he did not burn bridges. That journal saved his dignity, peace, and future. 6 months later, he was hired by a better company and still reads that page when he feels defeated. Science confirms expressive writing's power. Your limbic system calms. Your prefrontal cortex activates. Thoughts become structured. Rage becomes organized emotion. Confusion becomes clarity. It reduces anxiety, lowers blood pressure, improves emotional regulation, strengthens memory, and increases long-term peace. No therapist needed, just a notebook, a pen, and a few minutes of honesty. Don't think, don't plan, just write. Write everything, the ugly, embarrassing, unspoken thoughts. I hate what they did to me. I feel like no one understands me. Why am I always the one who stays quiet? I feel like breaking something, but I'm writing instead. This pain is deep, but I will not let it define me. Your journal becomes your mirror, reflecting the real you beneath the anger. Seeing yourself clearly, you realize, I don't want to be the person who explodes. I want to be the person who understands. That is when transformation begins. Every night, even without anger, take 10 minutes. Ask what made me feel disrespected today. What did I want to say but didn't? What was I really feeling underneath? How can I grow from this pain? The more you write, the less you will need to scream, because your mind will clear the anger before it becomes poison. You may lack someone to talk to or feel unsafe expressing emotions aloud. But you always have a notebook. It will never judge, interrupt, misunderstand, blame, or leave you. Your anger needs a voice. Let that voice speak through ink, not injury, through paper, not pain, through reflection, not reaction. This is wisdom. Let the journal hold your fire so your life does not have to burn. Way 7. See your face when you're angry. Now, a deeper truth. Anger is a transformation. You don't just feel different, you look different. Your face changes, eyes cold, eyebrows tightened, jaw clenched, lips curled, body stiff. You become someone you would never wish to encounter. The problem, you don't see it. In that moment, rage blinds you to who you have become. This method is both powerful and brutal. Look in the mirror while you are angry. Confront yourself, literally. See the version of you that emerges when anger takes over. A mother often shouted at her child, whom she loved deeply. One day, after a loud outburst, she went to the bathroom, looked in the mirror, and was shocked. Her face was red, eyes wide and angry, expression dangerous. She looked like someone her own child would fear. She broke down crying, not from anger, but from not recognizing herself. That mirror reflected not just her face, but her impact. She vowed never to let that face appear again, and she changed. Not through therapy or books, but through self-awareness. That is the power of reflection. Anger disconnects you from your identity, making you reactive. A mirror forces you back to yourself. It reminds you, this is what I look like out of control. This is what my partner sees. This is what my child remembers. This is not the face I want to wear. Witnessing your anger visually makes it real, undeniable, personal. You cannot hide from your reflection. Next time rage builds, go to the mirror. Do not speak. Just look at your face for 30 seconds. Watch what anger does to you. Then ask, would I want a relationship with this version of me? Would I want my child to remember this face? Am I proud of this person? If the answer is no, that moment of truth will shake, break, and begin to reshape you. You gain self-awareness, develop emotional memory, build compassion for others who have seen you like this, and cultivate courage for a better self. Anger is a mask. The mirror removes it, showing you exactly who you are in your worst moment, so you can choose a different path before it's too late. Some people never change because they never truly see what they have become. But once you face yourself, once you stare into your own angry eyes, once you see the damage in your own expression, you can never lie to yourself again. You either grow or continue destroying everything you touch. Let the mirror be your teacher, your face your wake-up call, and let that image burn so deeply into your soul that you never wish to see it again. This is how change begins, not from external pressure, but from internal truth. Way 8. Ask, what's the real pain behind my anger? You are not angry, you are wounded, and your wound is trying to speak. You feel anger, fists clench, heart pounds, voice wants to shout. But before unleashing that fire, ask one question. What am I really feeling underneath all this? The harsh truth is, anger is never the first emotion. It is the last. It emerges after silent hurt, after being ignored, betrayed, misunderstood for too long. Anger is the tip of the iceberg. Beneath it lies a mountain of pain. When angry, your body says fight, but your soul is actually crying, I feel invisible. I feel abandoned. I feel unsafe. I feel worthless. I feel unseen. I feel empty from giving too much. Instead of speaking these words, you raise your voice, slam doors, shut down, walk away, insult, threaten, or cry alone. Because saying, I'm hurt, feels harder. A husband always became angry when his wife came home late. He would shout, blame, accuse, question, argue. He believed it was about her tardiness, but it wasn't. In counseling, he was asked, what are you really afraid of when she's late? He paused, then tears came. I'm scared she's stopped loving me. I'm scared she's happier without me. I feel unimportant. I'm terrified I'm losing her. That wasn't anger, it was fear, insecurity, a broken heart trying to appear strong through rage. From that day, their relationship transformed. They stopped arguing and started understanding. When angry, ask these 3 questions. What am I really afraid of right now? Rejection, failure, disrespect? What part of me is hurting? My pride, my past, my trust? Is this anger about this moment or something older that never healed? Sometimes you are not angry at your friend, but at a father who never believed in you. Sometimes it is not about a broken cup, but years spent cleaning for an ungrateful family. This is how you become conscious of your emotional history. Unhealed pain becomes triggered rage. Once you find the real pain, you stop punishing people for things they didn't do, stop ruining your life with old wounds, stop reacting blindly, and start healing intentionally. And then you stop being angry all the time. You finally realize, I'm not broken, I'm just hurting. I'm not dangerous, I'm just misunderstood. I don't need to shout, I need to heal. That is when your entire life begins to change. Anger is like smoke. There is always a hidden fire beneath it. To extinguish the smoke, you must find that fire and ask, where is this really coming from? Not everyone who hurt you deserves a response, but you deserve healing, clarity, and deep self-understanding. When you achieve this, anger becomes unnecessary. You are not just managing emotions. You are becoming free from the pain that created them. That is how you become powerful. Way 9, train yourself daily, not during the storm. You do not learn to swim when the boat is sinking. Most people attempt to control anger only when it is too late. Already shouting, shaking, breaking things, crying. But trying to control anger during a breakdown is like attempting to hold back a flood after the dam has cracked. Emotional strength cannot be built in a crisis. It must be trained before the storm. This is what most people neglect. You watch a motivational video, read a quote, feel calm for 2 hours, then someone speaks, and boom, anger is back, worse than ever. Why? Because you didn't build a system, didn't train, didn't practice. You merely hoped your emotions would behave. But emotions respond to habits, not hope. Anger is raw fuel. It can destroy a house, burn a forest, or power a rocket to the stars. Its direction depends on how you have trained your mind to use it. Do you train your body daily but ignore your mind? Watch TV for 3 hours but never sit quietly for 10 minutes. Eat 3 meals but never feed your soul with discipline. If so, your anger is untrained, and untrained emotion becomes your master. But with daily, consistent, intentional training, you become the master of your emotion. Here is exactly what to do. Meditate, even for just 5 minutes. Sit in silence, focus on your breath, observe your thoughts without judgment. This builds mental stillness, so when anger comes, your mind knows how to remain calm. Journal daily, not just when angry. Write how you feel, what triggered you, What you learned from your emotions. This builds emotional intelligence. Take cold showers. Why? Because it is hard. It teaches your body to stay calm under stress, and it rewires your nervous system. Practice daily self-talk. Every morning, look in the mirror and say, "Today I choose control. Today I will not react, I will respond. Today my peace is more important than my ego." Say it aloud. Train your subconscious. Use micro delays. Every time you are triggered, say to yourself, 10 seconds. This practice becomes a habit of pause. A CEO of $1 billion company once said, "I meditate twice a day, not for peace, but because losing control during a negotiation could cost me $10 million. He trained himself like an athlete. Yet knowing a single emotional mistake could destroy years of progress. That is how serious anger is. You train not to be spiritual, but to be ready. You train to win your battles in silence, so you don't lose them in public. Anger is not the enemy, lack of preparation is. You want control. Build it like a warrior, every day, every morning, every night. Let your discipline be stronger than your emotion. You're training louder than your triggers. Then, when life throws its worst, you won't explode panic or regret. You'll breathe, pause, and smile because you already trained for this moment. And now you are unshakable. Way 10, forgive even if they don't deserve it. You forgive not because they are right, but because you want to be free. Let me share a hard, raw, honest truth. Anger is not always about today. Sometimes it's about years ago, and you are still holding on to it. Someone hurt you, betrayed your trust, humiliated you, abused you, lied to you, broke something inside you, and never apologized. Now, every time life gets hard, that old pain resurfaces, that memory explodes, and your anger transforms from a spark into a wildfire. Not because of the current moment, but because you are still carrying a past moment that burns within you. That is why this final way is crucial. No matter how many techniques you employ, you will never be truly free from anger until you learn one thing: forgive. But forgive whom? Not just those who wronged you, those who made you cry. Sometimes you need to forgive the parent who never protected you, the friend who betrayed you, the teacher who crushed your confidence, the partner who broke your spirit, the stranger who insulted your pain, the world for its unfairness, and most profoundly, yourself. Anger is not solely about others. It is often anger directed at your own reflection. Why did I let that happen? Why didn't I speak up? Why didn't I leave sooner? Why do I always get hurt? Why do I hate myself? This is the deepest rage, self-anger, and its only medicine is forgiveness. Let us be clear: forgiving does not mean they were right, or that you are weak, or that you forget, or that you let them back into your life. Forgiveness is not for them, it is for you. You forgive because you are tired of being angry, tired of carrying the weight, tired of letting someone else control your emotions, tired of reliving past pain. You forgive because you desire peace more than revenge. A man abused as a child lived for years with shame, rage, and silence. Every time he saw his reflection, he hated himself. Every relationship he had, he destroyed, not for lack of desire for love, but because the anger within had become poison. One day, he wrote a letter to his abuser. He did not send it. He wrote, "You broke me, but I will not let you break my future. You stole my childhood, but you will not take my peace. I forgive you not because you deserve it, but because I deserve to be free." He burned the letter, and for the first time in 27 years, he cried, not from pain, but from release. That was the day he began to live again. Do you know what anger does to your body? Higher blood pressure, constant muscle tension, digestive issues, sleep problems, immune system weakness, fatigue, depression, and often physical illness. Anger lives in the body. Forgiveness releases it. It is not just emotional healing, it is physical liberation. Those who forgive often appear lighter, breathe easier, smile deeper, because they are free. Some people will never apologize, never admit their wrongs, will move on while you remain trapped by their created pain. What do? You do not wait for their apology, for justice, for karma. You choose to let go without their permission. You declare, "You don't get to live in my head anymore. You don't get to control my emotions. You don't get to define who I am." You take your power back. That is forgiveness, a quiet decision that screams freedom. You have carried the pain long enough, replayed the story long enough, punished yourself long enough. It is time to put it down. Not because it wasn't real, not because it didn't matter, but because you matter more. Let your future be louder than your past. Let your peace be stronger than your pain. Let your soul breathe again. You forgive because you are ready to be free. You are not your anger. You are what you choose to become after it. If you have absorbed this entire message, know this: you are not weak. You are not broken. You are not too late. And you are not your past. You are a human being who feels deeply, who has endured pain, been misunderstood, stayed silent. When you yearned to scream, cried alone when no one watched. You have carried burdens in your heart known only to you. But from this moment forward, everything can change. You now possess what most people never find: the ability to understand your anger, to pause, to breathe, to walk away, to reflect, to forgive, to grow. This is your power. This is your moment. This is your new identity. From today, declare, "My anger does not define me. My reaction is my choice. I am in control. I am free from the past. I am not here to fight. I am here to build peace. I forgive. I release. I rise." And one more thing, if this message touched your heart, if you felt even a single moment of transformation, do not keep it to yourself. Someone you know is battling anger right now. Someone you love is hurting others because they do not know how to manage their own pain. Share this with them. Help them breathe again. Help them begin their journey too. This is not the end. It is the beginning of your next chapter. A chapter where you not only control anger, but reclaim your power, become your best self, and live with peace, strength, and clarity. Subscribe for more, share this message, and start living as the person you were born to become. The world needs more people who understand deeper, not just shout louder. And now, you are one of them. Thank you for watching, and never forget, you are not your anger. You are your power, you are your peace, and your story is just beginning.